The Last Laugh. Full summary. Theme, characters, and question set. Brought to you by Stage Masters Kenya, crafters of moments, creators of magic. This summary is done and edited by Momanyi Duncan. Welcome to this powerful dramatic narration brought to you by Stage Masters Kenya, crafters of moments, creators of magic. Today, we journey into the heart of a compelling literary masterpiece, The Last Laugh, a thought-provoking play that explores power, justice, oppression, and the moral consequences of human actions. This narration has been carefully summarized, arranged, and edited by Momanyi Duncan, presenting the emotional flow, dramatic conflict, and deep moral lessons embedded in the story. Prepare to experience a powerful tale of wealth, suffering, rebellion, and the inevitable triumph of truth. The world of the play. The story unfolds in a society sharply divided between wealth and poverty, a place where the powerful live comfortably while the weak struggle for survival. This environment prepares us for the central conflict, the struggle between oppression and justice. Characters. At the center of the story stands Orwa, a wealthy landowner and symbol of power and control. He inherited land and wealth from past generations and believes firmly in maintaining authority. Opposing him are voices of conscience and change. Oka, a bold defender of justice and human dignity. Kola, supportive of reform and equality. Ami, caught between loyalty to family and moral truth. Mariko, a powerful voice of the oppressed masses. Together, these characters represent a clash between old systems of dominance and new calls for fairness and humanity. Scene of suffering and neglect. One of the earliest dramatic moments occurs at the health facility. A mother rushes in carrying a sick child, begging for help. The doctor dismisses her struggle, blaming malnutrition and offering advice that the poor cannot realistically follow. This moment reveals something deeper. The system does not simply fail the poor, it ignores them. Mariko speaks out boldly, questioning the doctor's indifference and exposing the broader suffering of the workers. He demands compassion, responsibility, and social awareness. His voice represents the cry of the oppressed, unheard, ignored, but persistent. Life in Orwa's household. The focus shifts to Orwa's home, a place of wealth, comfort, and pride. Here, Orwa displays his authority as master of land and people. He believes he provides enough for workers and therefore owes them nothing more. But his children, especially Oka, see a different truth. They observe workers laboring endlessly, living without dignity, trapped in dependency. They question whether providing basic needs without freedom is truly kindness or disguised control. This becomes the moral heart of the play. The great conflict, freedom versus control. Oka and Kola take a bold step. They release the workers, allowing them to leave forced labor and seek freedom. To them, this is justice. To Orwa, it is rebellion. He becomes furious. He cannot understand why anyone would question the system that gave him power. He insists that the wealth he owns was earned through struggle and inherited through generations. But Oka challenges him directly. He argues that true justice means helping people grow, not keeping them dependent. He reminds his father that all human beings share the same breath, the same blood, and the same right to dignity. This moment marks the emotional peak of ideological conflict. tradition versus transformation. The cost of resistance. Orwa refuses to accept the challenge to his authority. He responds with control and punishment. Oka is arrested and imprisoned, a symbol of how power often silences truth. The household becomes tense and fearful, yet something deeper begins to happen. Orwa's strength starts to collapse. The fall of power. Suddenly, Orwa becomes seriously ill. His body weakens, his mind becomes troubled, and fear replaces pride. He begins to question everything. He wonders whether his suffering is a curse, whether the cries of the oppressed have returned to haunt him, whether his system was doomed from the beginning. For the first time, the once powerful man feels helpless. Realization and regret. Ami recalls something important. The workers once prayed that Orwa's suffering would end only when justice was done and Oka was freed. Desperate and frightened, Orwa orders that Oka be released immediately. He now understands what he once refused to see. Power without compassion leads to destruction. The return of Oka. Oka returns, weak, beaten, and tortured. His suffering is visible evidence of injustice. The family is shaken. Even Orwa is horrified at what has been done in his name. With the remaining strength, Orwa begs for forgiveness. The man who once ruled with pride now pleads with humility. The final moment, the last laugh. Overwhelmed by regret, pain, and realization, Orwa collapses. His fall symbolizes the collapse of oppressive power. The play ends with uncertainty, but also transformation. Those who suffered have spoken. Those who oppressed have faced consequences. Truth has been revealed, and so the question remains: who truly has the last laugh? Not the powerful, not the wealthy, but justice itself. Themes and moral lessons. The play delivers powerful messages. Oppression always carries consequences. Wealth without compassion destroys humanity. Justice may be delayed, but it cannot be silenced. True leadership requires empathy. Every human being deserves dignity. The story is both tragic and hopeful, exposing injustice while reminding us that change is possible. And that brings us to the end of this dramatic journey. The last laugh is more than a story. It is a warning, a reflection, and a call to action. It reminds us that systems built on exploitation cannot stand forever, that voices of truth will rise even when suppressed, and that justice, though slow, always finds its way. This powerful narrational summary has been proudly brought to you by Stage Masters Kenya, crafters of moments, creators of magic. Summary researched, structured, and edited by Momanyi Duncan. Thank you for listening. Stay inspired, stay thoughtful, stay just. Because in the end, truth always has the last laugh.